Hey, Award Travel 101, it's that time again. Tuesday night, Award Travel 101 Live. My name is Richard Kerr. I am your founder. And tonight we have a hands-on live, ultra super nerdy, dorky, cool screen sharing of my strategy to do award bookings. So just like every night, if you're new to the group, there are a few things I do at the beginning of every Award Travel 101 Live. Number one, support the group. Consider getting your next rewards earning credit card through the links in the pinned post. If you use the link, we get paid a commission. That's how we make money here and are able to support and run this group 24/7. Second, subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is a great reason to introduce Tony working hard in the background as my moderator. It's really easy to sit here and ramble on with my microphone, and Tony's got to work really hard in the background. So, Tony, will you go ahead and share that link so that everybody can subscribe to our YouTube channel? All right, there are two things that I love besides points and miles. One is bourbon, two is gummies, and that means it's February, and it is once again time to share the bourbon of the week. This week I have Noah's Mill. Now this is some absolutely delicious, legitimate, high-proof Kentucky bourbon, courtesy of my good man Michael McHugh up in the D.C. area, also known as Points with Q. I had this waiting on my doorstep when I got back from San Francisco, Savannah, and Charleston, which is where I was last week and this weekend. So 57.15% Noah's Mill. There it is. Same distillery makes a lot of other absolutely delicious brews. Take a sip. And then my good friend here in the group, Miss Deb Tobias, who is at every single Award Travel 101 Live, sent me some Trader Joe gummies that I'm munching on over here because they're absolutely delicious. Hey, I'm excited about what we have going on in Award Travel 101. Some of the things I've been able to do in the last week, some of the people I've talked to on the phone today, we have a lot of great things. We're on the up and up. We're just reaching, where I think we're going to take off and skyrocket. And that's because of everybody in the group and how excited everybody is with what we are doing here in the group, helping people travel on any budget. Remember, though, nothing else is more important than protecting your credit score, not carrying a balance, understanding the ramifications of a FICO score. You got to protect that credit score. You got to protect your personal finances. No points and miles are ever going to be worth more than some of the trouble that you get yourself into. Hey, Sherry, it's good to see you. Everybody tell me where you're tuning in from in the comments as we get started. And then here's what I need from you. I need somebody to tell me some award bookings that you would like me to look at here in a second as soon as we get started. How many people, what points and miles you have. Specifics is what I'm looking for. Tony's going to annotate some of them here on my moderating document. You're going to see me do this a lot. I don't have Tourette's. I don't have a Twitch. I have a moderating document that I look over, live communication, and get notes. San Antonio, Texas, good to see you. Hey, Stephen, Mark Smith, good to see you. Appreciate everybody. So start telling me some of those places that you want me to search so that I can get going here. We're going to do screen share. I'm actually going to move over here to the screen share, and I just want to make sure that it goes rather smoothly. So let's see. Everything should be set up. There you go. I'm going to bring the first window over here. Hey, look, some of the basics that you need to know before you try and do any of this. It starts with Award Wallet. That's going to go ahead and maintain all of your award programs, one-stop shopping, and you really can't do it without that. All right, so let me get my moderating document back up here. Tony, start picking out some of these. I'm seeing all kinds of crazy requests coming up. I'm going to go ahead and turn this overlay off so that I don't mess it up anymore. You're going to wonder why I have Wikipedia showing. It's going to be really important. Tony, just a lot of comments here. I'm trying to see your first one. So let's start with Christy. Christy says, hey, please help me figure out how to get from the south, Birmingham, Atlanta, Nashville, to Lisbon, Portugal, collecting points and miles like crazy, but paralyzed when it comes to burning them. So you want to go from the south, Birmingham, Atlanta, Nashville, over to Portugal. She's got a ton of ultimate rewards and plenty of SPG points. So right off the bat, okay, I know if we're working with SPG, then I really don't have too much to worry about because you have access to any single program. So let's take a look here. All right, so why am I on Wikipedia? This is the first place I go. This is Lisbon Airport. Right, so why am I going there? You've heard me talk about it a few times if you tuned in the past. Every single Wikipedia page for every airport in the world is going to be organized exactly the same, and there's a very specific paragraph here called Airlines and Destinations. This very quickly tells me who is flying into the airport. Even if I'm confident that I know a major airport like Lisbon and some ideas go ahead and pop in my head, I quickly scroll through, checking out these airlines and routes and see if anything jumps out at me. And of course, here you go. So Delta Airlines, seasonal service to Portugal starts in May of 2018. They already fly from New York. But hey, that's good to know. If we want to go from the south over to Portugal, then hey, look, there's something that we can check out on May 25th. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. You've got SPG points you can get over there. So let's type in ATL LIS. The more familiar you are with the layouts, always search flexible days anytime you can, miles. The more you're familiar with these websites, the more time you spend on them, you can really start to fly through. And it's so important that you spend some of your extra time really familiarizing yourself with everything that's kind of going on. So what do we got? May 25th, hey, 50,000 nonstop. Not bad if it's going to start there. But look, 30,000 nonstop just a couple of days later. If we're flexible, don't really know what time you're trying to travel, but pretty great. Right, so automatically, if I'm trying to get from south to Lisbon, Portugal, 30,000 sky miles. Hey, look, I know I give them a bad rap, but there's a lot of goodness going on with Delta if you want to fly economy. So let's go ahead and bump this up. Let's say 4 passengers here. Let's go ahead and break it out to 5 weeks. Some really great tools on the Delta website. Let's go with nonstop only from Atlanta, and let's update those results and see what we can do for 4 people in economy. So you can see where the flight starts, May 24th. Look at that. That's 4 seats in economy almost any day that you want to go in May from the south to Lisbon, Portugal for 30,000 miles. That all started back on the Wikipedia page because of this new route right here that I previously had not known. So thank you, Wikipedia, proving my point exactly why I wanted to go there. Thank you, Delta. 40 seats, 30,000 people. Hey, that's a really, really good deal right there. So that's how I would attack that one. And if you were an award booking client of mine, I would definitely happily suggest that option to you right there. All right, so that's Christy. Tony's got a lot more teed up for me, so let's get see if we can find, I guess, more of a difficult one, or not so much Europe. So, all right, Teresa Sane Black. If I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I'm sorry. I'm not a linguist. She got 100,000 SPG points, not miles, from Chicago to Myanmar, Yangon RGN airport code. So she's got some AA and she has some United. So we want to go from Chicago to Myanmar. Remember, we're going back to Wikipedia. We're going to type in Yangon airport, and we're going to look at routes and destinations. There it is, always coming up, checking out. And let's see if anything jogs my memory here. So, yeah, all the Asian carriers. Hey, ANA, Tokyo, Narita, that opens up some possibilities that you can do a one-stop. Chicago, Myanmar, so I would probably head there first. Real quick, anything else jumps out at me? Hey, Emirates, that means you can probably use some Alaska miles that you can transfer over from SPG. And of course, you got all the Star Alliance carriers. So she has some United and plenty of SPG. I don't like SPG to United because it's 2-to-1 instead of 1-to-1 like everybody else. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and check out the ANA option, and I'm going to search on United. So let's see if I can get one stop Chicago to Narita, and then Narita to Yangon, which RGN, if I'm not mistaken. Remember, it always tells you up at the top, yeah, you're looking for that IATA code if you don't know it, IATA RGN. So let's head back. Do you want to book a mileage plus ticket? Now, here's what you do. Leg by leg, okay? You don't want to type in Chicago to RGN. I'm telling you, you want to go and search leg to leg best you can, and you always want to start in reverse. So let's go Tokyo Narita over to RGN. So it doesn't do you any good if you start in Chicago and you get to Narita and you can't get from Narita to your final destination. So let's check it out in the summer. I didn't see any dates on there. And let's do one person, and then let's just see, you know, what that availability looks like on those dates. So I've got a lot of screens and everything going up. Don't worry, you can comment. Tony's taking them and writing them down for me in questions. We're going to get through as many as we can. Holy smokes, look at this fantastic availability. So every single day has award and premium cabin from Tokyo and Narita to Myanmar, according to the 2-month calendar here on United. And Look at that, nonstop ANA right there, 20,000 or 45,000 economy business. So look, this is fantastic. I know I can get from Tokyo to Myanmar almost any single time I want. So not worried about that at all. Pick a date, and then let's start back and go RD to Narita. Let's check it out the same times. Again, you got to spend time on these websites. You really got to get familiar with the layouts and all the tools and flexible searches and one-ways. You can kind of see how fast I'm blowing through all of these. But again, hey, start at that Wikipedia page. Look, I'm 2 for 2 here, right? So here's United's new dumb interface I don't like. You got to expand out to the 30-day calendar and check it out and see what's going on. Remember, we found any day in June or July that had availability from Narita to Myanmar. If you're just joining us, we're trying to go Chicago to Myanmar. I always start backwards. Myanmar to Narita is not a problem. And then look, every single day if you're flying economy from Chicago to Narita, also not a problem using Star Alliance. That means you can use any Star Alliance miles. Let's see what it looks like in business if you want to go that route. Hey, look here, June 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Plenty of business space available. So it's really easy here with your SPG points to transfer to a Chris Flyer, transfer to ANA, and book these flights up nonstop. You're looking at it. So Chicago to Myanmar, not a problem whatsoever this summer. One stop, Tokyo, Narita, layover, and then go on down to Myanmar. So Teresa, I hope that helps you out and gives everybody watching a good sense of how I would kind of attack this. All right, Tony, what else you got for me? So we've knocked out the south to Lisbon really easy on Delta. Hey, it starts at the Wikipedia page, and then we knocked out Chicago to Myanmar. Again, that Wikipedia page giving me the idea to do a one-stop in Tokyo on the way over there. So Fiji, everybody wants to go to Fiji, and it's actually not too difficult, and I'm going to show you a little trick here. All right, so Ashok Kumar Patel says, help me get 3 to Fiji, 625,000, Amex points, 105,000, thank you points, 250,000 ultimate rewards. He wants to do it in business. All right, so you got plenty of points. You want to go to Fiji. You didn't tell me where you're coming from, so I'm just going to pick somewhere in the States, and I'm going to make it a little bit easier for myself and start at LAX. So Fiji Airways flies from LAX to Nandi, and you can actually check out the availability on the Qantas website because they are partners, even though they're not in the One World Alliance. And you can use AA miles to fly on Fiji Airways. So I got a Ward Wallet automatically logging in for me here. I don't want to show everybody my numbers, so we'll let it log in and I'll switch back over to it. All right, cool. So you're on the Qantas website. And again, you got to really get familiar with these websites. Book flights. And then they got a little checkbox here that's going to say, I want to do use points, classic flight rewards only. And I want to go from LAX. I want to go to Nandi. And then he didn't tell me a date, so I'm going to start with flexible dates. Let's just pick August 1st, see what it looks like. He wants to do 3 people. And then we're going to check out the Qantas calendar for Fiji Airways. So again, you got to get familiar with these tools and understand, hey, I want to go to Fiji. I got to know I can use American miles to fly Fiji Airways. And I want to know, I got to know that the Qantas website shows this availability. So here's economy. Qantas website, really cool up at the top. You can check which box that you want it to show. Let's check business. Let's click go, and then the calendar is going to give you that same symbol for any days that have business for 3 people. And exactly what I expected. There's nothing the entire month of August that has business available. Elsewise, we would see this little symbol right here for business. So let's go over to the next 14 days and see if we can find something. So you see, economy is not a problem if you really want to go. And we'll click down further to get these individual flights. Still nothing in business for 3 people. Oh, let's click the business button again. Hey, look, we got some options for business. So let's click on August 22nd. Let's continue and see what options come up from Los Angeles to Fiji. So here you go. Here's the nonstop flight. Los Angeles to Fiji on Fiji Airways. It's got economy space, but nothing in business. That means I can call American, and it's got seats for 3 people because we put 3 in the engine. And if you want to take that nonstop, super convenient, 11 hours from LAX over to Fiji, you can book that Fiji flight 811 using your American miles. Just call up the American agent and tell them that you found it available on the Qantas website. Now, this date gave me some business seats, so let's see what it is. So you got to go Los Angeles to Hong Kong, and then Hong Kong down to Fiji. This little symbol here dictates in the business selection that it's there. Now, American's going to charge you 2 awards for that, so I don't recommend doing it. I would probably just suck up the economy for the nonstop here. So that's how I would do Fiji. I always attack it using the Qantas website. You got to be familiar with all these relationships and how it works. Cool, nonetheless. All right, so let's go on to the next one here. Tony, what you got lined up for me? Going over to the Middle East, trying to get 4 people to Israel from New York City. You got a ton of Ultimate Rewards. I've got a ton of Amex points. I've got a ton of AA miles. Would like to go first 2 weeks of August. So this is Debbie. Debbie says 4 people to Israel, ton of points, New York over to Israel. So you've got a ton of Amex points. Remember, you can always transfer to El Al, the official airline of Israel, and get that nonstop. However, it is just a terrible, terrible program, and it's going to charge you an absolute ton amount of miles. So I don't care if you think you know every single flight that comes into the airport. You should still go and check out that Wikipedia page. I'm assuming that you want to fly into Tel Aviv. So let's go check out what airlines and destinations we got. I'm sure, actually, I know a ton of airlines fly nonstop between those two. You got Air Canada options to get over there if you have United miles. Scrolling down, it's Delta. Yep, still goes out. So if you want to take 4 people, actually, I'm going to go back to Delta and check that out because, hey, as bad a rap as I give Delta Sky Miles, if you want to fly nonstop and you want to fly for 4 people, she said the first 2 weeks of August. Let's head over here. Let's keep main cabin nonstop 5 weeks one way, and let's check out what we got going on this nonstop flight. So it doesn't look too good if you want 4 people. 50,000 miles, that's not bad, but it's not good. If you're willing to pay that for the nonstop to make it convenient and get 4 people on the same flight, and because you have a ton of Amex points, I would just transfer those bad boys over to Delta, and I would book it up. Super done, super easy and convenient here. Although you want the first 2 weeks of August, that's not looking too good. So another great idea here is Flying Blue, because they consider Israel to be a part of Europe. So actually, Flying Blue is not wanting to work on Chrome right now, so I'm going to open up Safari and see what we can get done through Flying Blue. Remember, Flying Blue is a transfer partner of both Amex and of Chase, so pretty easy to get a whole lot of Flying Blue miles, and it treats as if you're just flying to Europe the same. If you're not familiar with the KLM website, you can use this or Air France to search Flying Blue. Click this little button here, wait for it to load. This website's being really weird lately. I'm not sure what the deal is. But we're going to get it done over here in Safari right now. So logged in, you're going to go click on the Flying Blue. You're going to click on Award Booking Tool. And then we're going to search the first 2 weeks of August from New York to Israel is what we're looking for 4 people. She has a ton of points in all programs, so it's not a problem. I also, little hack here, New York City, all airports, don't limit yourself to just JFK. And let's check out Tel Aviv. Let's check out, I'm telling you, this website is so goofy right now. It's not even showing everything. If anybody's got any fixes for this, I would love to talk to you. So here's the next deal with Flying Blue. That is an important checkbox that I just clicked right there. You're looking for flights around this date. This website is so peculiar. It's so annoying. You got to search flexible dates for passengers. We just want to do anything we can do, and they're all adults, in order to get search results to show on Flying Blue. This is a lot of fun. I hope you guys are enjoying this. You get to see how nerdy I am, and I'm sure some of you can fly through these just as quickly as I can. There's no substitute for hard work and time in this hobby. Like anything, if it's worth having, it's worth putting time into. Holy smokes, look at all these options we got. So, first week of August, 25,000 miles a person and $100 is pretty good. Pretty much any day you want to go. This is for 4 people. This is why you really like Flying Blue. Let's check out what the flight options are from New York to Tel Aviv. Again, almost any day you want to go. For 25,000 miles, see, like I said, 25,000. Now it's only showing me 37,500. Pretty much all connecting into Paris. which is not bad, and it's pretty low mileage rate. What I really do like about Flying Blue, here's a little hack right at the top, travel dates and fares. You don't have to go and re-enter the entire search like some programs. You can just go back to this calendar and check it out. Let's see what the 25,000 mile options are. Hope this is helping you out. I can't remember the name. Debbie Shandell, trying to get from New York. See, look, it's only showing me 37,500 again. I don't get it. I hate this website. It is so funky. You got to really give it some time. You really got to play around with it. And here's the next deal I'm going to show you. Before you transfer points into Flying Blue, you want to click as far as you can to make sure that it is not phantom availability. See, look, every day I click on it, it says 25,000. It's only giving me options for 37,500. So you really got to put some time into it. But all of these options look like they're connecting through Paris. If you can find the date that is only 25,000, I would highly recommend this. Even though those fuel surcharges are a little rough, I'm going to determine to find a date here that actually has 25,000. I hope everybody can see what's going on. Tony's not telling me to quit doing anything I'm doing because I can't watch the comments. So, see, look, now it's 45,000. Super weird, super funky. Don't get it. Not sure why it's doing that, but welcome to the world that is KLM Air France Flying Blue. So anyways, this is a great option. One of these dates is actually going to have 25,000 miles. Remember, anything you find in the Sabre, you could actually use Sky Miles to book as well if you call them up. Have a little bit less fuel surcharges than if you use Flying Blue, but you can get a lot of Flying Blue miles because you can transfer from Citi or from Chase or from Amex, so a pretty good deal. All right, so let's go on to the next one. Let's see what we got going on here. So a couple people asking about South Africa. I'm going to click over real quick to make sure. Yep, microphone's still going. We're doing well. Wow, that time's really flying fast. All right, so let's try and attack South Africa. Here's what I do with South Africa. It's really easy. You ready? South African Airways. It's in the Star Alliance. So I'm just here on the United page again. I'm at the multi-search calendar. What are we looking for? We're looking from Boston to Johannesburg, and then we're looking from Atlanta to Johannesburg. So let's start with Boston. Remember, work your way backwards, right down to JMB. They have a daily nonstop flight from JFK down to Johannesburg on South African. It's in the Star Alliance. Looking for June of 2018, so I'm in the right spot already. She's got some ultimate rewards, which is good because you can transfer over to United and book it up. Let's see what we got going on here, and hopefully some of these dates with the nonstop flights are available. I really wish South African would upgrade this route to their brand new A330, although I don't think it has the range. They're stuck on the old A340. Hey, look, nonstop flight. Pretty good here. You've even got Sabre business with a couple stops on Ethiopian. Not that I would recommend that. But for 40,000 ultimate rewards transferred to United to book New York down to Johannesburg, that is such a long, expensive flight. It's a really great deal. You're just going to have to suck it up, which I almost did and sat in the economy. Look, almost every single day's got that Sabre space. And we can click this little box at the top that says nonstop only and see how many dates have the nonstop available from New York down to Johannesburg. Joburg. So you got enough dates there where you're comfortable. If you see all these dates that show 40,000 with the nonstop, and it's of course your first option down here at the bottom on the A340 600. Really great. So Boston or even Atlanta. I know Jane's coming from Atlanta. Delta just wants way too many miles. You know, let's go look at that just for kicks and giggles. So look at that, saved by the bell here in 3 seconds. If you want to fly business class on Delta, they do have a daily nonstop from Atlanta to Johannesburg on a 777-200. But I mean, the miles that they want for this flight is just I mean, good grief. So I'm going to go over to Delta One on the nonstop one way. I'm guessing it's 350,000 sky miles per person each way to fly business. Oh, 375. Look, I was close. Every single day. So if you want to fly the Delta nonstop using miles, you just can't. 750,000 miles to fly round trip. That's just absolutely crazy. So let's not do that. So my recommendation for South Africa, because it's just viable and it's cheap in economy, is to get up to New York, which is easy from Boston or Atlanta, and catch that nonstop down there on the A340 600. Now, they also do fly out of Dulles, I think, every day, but you have to stop somewhere, either in Ghana or I can't remember where else you got to stop. Oh, it was Senegal, but I think they've stopped that flight now. So, it could be an option out of Dulles as well, but just get up to New York and take the nonstop. That's how I would attack that. All right, so let's go on. What's going on next? How we doing, Tony? Everything good? Just give me a comment quickly up at the top if everything's good on our mod doc. I really wish I was reading all these comments so I could check out. Let's look at a really hard one. All right. She's got a ton of them queued up for me here. So China, Europe to Ireland, pretty easy stuff. New Zealand, 6 people. Okay. Let's try and attack this for the last one real quick as I reach on 30 minutes. And I'm going to hang out in the group after we get done with this and kind of start a live chat thread if anybody wants to ask further questions, just to kind of keep this going. So Karen says, New York City to New Zealand, 6 people. I have 1.5 million Chase, 200 Amex, 150,000 SPG, blah, 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 a ton. Okay. So you want to get it down to New Zealand, you want to do it in economy. You know what? I'm going to check out American, because you would be surprised if you want to go to Australia, New Zealand, and economy is not a problem. Sometimes you can get lucky, and American, you'd be surprised at what the economy availability is. Now, we could strike out big time here, but we're going to find out. So redeem miles, New York City to Auckland. Let me go back and see my notes. I didn't get the date that she was looking for. 6 people in business class in January of 19. I don't even think the schedule's open that far yet, so we might be spinning our wheels here just a little bit. It's not really. So 6 people in business class on points down in New Zealand. Look, you got a 0.001% chance of that ever happening. I'm just curious what this looks like in economy. Your best guess to get 4 people would be connecting in Fiji on Fiji Airways. If you got 1.5 million Chase, I'm assuming you have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and I would just look at redeeming those at 1.5 cents each for revenue fares. If you can ever catch a deal. I didn't catch that business class part. We can do 6 in economy eventually. Hey, look, we can even do it on December 30th, according to American. Let's see what routing they got here. LaGuardia to Boston, Boston to LAX, LAX to Auckland. Hey, that's for 6 people now. And that's only going to be 240,000 American miles to get 6 of you down to Auckland with 2 stops. And there's going to be so many schedule changes between then and now that you can call American and get on the nonstop to LAX that you only have a 1 stop there. I guarantee you of that. So if you want to get 6 people to economy and you want to do it on 1 stop because the schedule change is going to happen 3 or 4 times between now and December 30th, you can definitely go this route here. If you're overlooking American miles for economy, especially to Europe, I know Tony, my moderator tonight, she flies her family of 6 to Europe all the time with American miles in economy. It's just those business class redemptions. If you're looking for 6 people business class, I would probably just send you a polite email back if you were looking to hire me and say, let's look at revenue fares and see what we can do with your American points and with your Chase points. But hey, look, the first place that we go, we find 6 seats at the Sabre level down in New Zealand. Pretty cool stuff right there. Some really good routings here. Iceland, the low-cost fares are so cheap to Iceland now. You just got to look at that. However, if you do want a little secret trick here about Iceland, Asia miles. Asia miles, you can fly British Airways from the U.S. to London. You can stop over for free and visit London as long as you like, because you can do stopovers on one-ways with Asia miles, and you can fly British Airways from London over to Reykjavik, which is actually in the same time zone as London, believe it or not, and it's super cheap. It's going to be about $250 in taxes and fees, but you can do it in business class. You can see London and you can see Iceland using Asia miles, and it's something like 45,000 Asia miles. Super cheap, really great deal. If you're looking to splurge and you want to see London and Iceland, use Asia miles. That's Cathay Pacific points, which you can transfer from Amex or from Citi, and you can book it online. People forget about Asia miles all the time. All right, I'm going to show this to you because I can't not show it to you now that I mentioned it because it's too good. It's a great one to end on that a lot of people probably don't know about. So I just clicked on award wallet on my other monitor here. It's logging me in so that you guys don't see my number, because I know some of you are crafty. You might do something funky with my numbers if you ever found them. God bless the internet. You guys are crazy sometimes. All right, so if you're not familiar with this website, you need to get familiar with it right now. Look surprised, you guys see that I have 53,000 Asia miles. All right, so redeem, flight awards, and search and book. Redeem flight. I'm going really fast because this is what you got to do with these programs. You're going to spend time. You guys are going to spend the rest of your free nights this week getting familiar with every single one of these daggum programs and websites that you can fly through it and be a pro in no time. All right, so let's do this number here. Let's start in Atlanta. Let's go to Iceland. Let's go one way. Let's do business class, and let's pick it when it's going to be a little bit warmer than it is right now in April. Flexible dates, one person. Let's see the goodness that Asia Miles shows us. Hopefully we get a British Airways booking, as you can see, and do the one stopover in London. Hey, look, I think this is the most live viewers we've ever had, Tony. Crushing it tonight. I know people love the nerdy stuff as much as I do. All right, so there's nothing available, so let's go with the flexible dates and see if you can find me something. I really just want you guys and gals to see this because it's something that nobody looks at. And it's not very expensive. Cool, so here we go. 45,000 miles, just as I thought. British Airways, that's business class. Business. 45,000 standard awards up here at the top. So we're flying Atlanta to London on the nonstop. And then the next day, you're going to be flying London to Iceland. But remember, you can stop over for no extra points. Oh, come on. Go. Let's see what we got here. These flights are full. That's why. All right, I'm going to find something that is available so that you can see it all the way through. But it is 45,000 miles, business class transatlantic, which is a great deal. And you can see London, and then you continue and get your ticket over to Iceland, also in business class for 45,000 miles, right? That's a really great deal. It's transatlantic business class, 2 flights, 2 destinations for 45,000 miles. You just got to find the availability, and it is there. Probably not in spring when it's really popular. But this is Asia Miles, and this is something that you really need to be familiar with. Here's a quick paragraph. It even tells you. Excuse me. You can use this online engine to book Cathay Pacific, Cathay Dragon, Alaska, British Airways, Finnair, Iberia, Qantas, and Qatar flights on this engine. That engine I just used is going to show all of these flights on here on Asia Miles, and people forget about this all the time. So you can transfer from Amex, you can transfer from Citi into Asia Miles, and you can get the Synchrony Bank Cathay Pacific Visa signature card, which is somewhere here on my desk, actually. And you can earn a lot of Asia Miles really quickly, and you can do some really wonderful things. And it charges less fuel surcharges on British Airways than any other One World partner does by about a factor of $200 or $300. So instead of paying $500 for that flight we just looked at, you're going to pay about $200. Everybody else charges $500. That's why they tell you not to fly British Airways operated flights transatlantic. If you really want to do it and you really want to do something cool for a little bit of points and pay a little bit of fuel surcharges like $200 for that business class routing I just showed you, it's a great deal. If I went to each one of you off the street and I said 45,000 miles and $200 and you got a transatlantic business class flight, a free stopover, and another business class flight to Iceland, every single one of you would take that. So that's Asia Miles, and that's really cool stuff. And I'm going to go back and bring on my ugly mug again. So that was some walkthroughs of some different routings and different strategies. You remember, start with that Wikipedia page and spend your spare time really crushing all of those different websites so that you can fly through there and really get some good stuff done. All right, so with that, I'm at the 33-minute mark. I hope this was helpful. If you really like this, we should make this a monthly feature. I can queue them up beforehand, and you can see some hands-on stuff. Kobe just said, hey, what are the taxes and fees for first class? It's going to be about the same. It's going to be about $300, maybe a little bit less than $200. That was Asia Miles is what people were asking about. And it's those lesser-known programs that aren't talked about in the blog space all the time that you're not going to get much exposure to unless you go and spend your time and do those things yourself, okay? So I really enjoyed doing that. That's how the nerdy brain stuff works. I'm going to open it for just a few more questions here. Tony, let me know if we got some good questions that are not award routing. So no more award routings, but just ask me any general questions that you have while I look at this beautiful bottle of Noah's Mill. This was the bourbon of the night. If you missed the intro, Noah's Mill. It is February. Dry January is over. And really enjoying some of the good stuff that we have for this. So, yeah, monthly feature. I should do like around the country demonstrations of this where I get you guys all together in a Hyatt room for a few hours and we just blow through a bunch of these. And then we all party and have some beers afterwards and maybe some lunch. So no more routings, but any just general questions. Oh, Deb says, do you have to be a member of each airline program to see award availability? Not all of them, but the general rule is yes, and the general rule is that you want to be logged in order to see the best availability. Specifically, if you're looking for United operated flights, remember, if you have United Elite status or you're a United credit card holder, you get access to that extra fare space, XN and YN fare class, and you're not going to see that unless you are logged in. So make sure that you log in in order to check out all that space. So somebody's asking, how many credit cards do I have? I don't know. Here's a smattering of what I got on my desk right now. So plenty of those, plenty of all kinds of cards and stuff here. Anybody want some iTunes cards? No? Anybody want that? This desk is, I'll tell you what, if this desk could tell stories, there's some good ones here right now. There is no business version of the Cathay Pacific card, only the personal. All right. Hey, this was a really great session. I enjoyed it a lot. We're at the 35-minute mark. Asia Miles, somebody's asking, it's the Synchrony Bank Asia Miles Visa Signature Card. Should really check it out. My wife made a comment earlier, apparently, about being a busy mom who wants to travel solo first class. Very funny. Emily, thanks for supporting me. Hey, until next time, remember, Thursday night, Bourbon and Q&A. You can ask me anything you want. I sit and drink bourbon for an hour and do rapid-fire answers and questions. I'm going to go hang out in the group and start a little bit of a post-live chat so we can talk about it. This replay is available anytime on our YouTube channel. Tony, please put up that link one more time so that everybody can subscribe to our YouTube channels and you don't want to miss any of our lives. And some exciting things coming up, some travel that I might not be doing. My wife's going on some travel a little bit later. I got trips to Argentina booked. I got trips down to New Zealand and Australia booked. We got a trip to Morocco booked. Some really goodness going on here in Award Travel 101. Love doing this stuff. Tony in the background, everybody tell Tony thanks. It's really hard to keep up with me and all the things I demand of these moderators, but they do a great job and make my life a whole lot easier. So until then, we'll see you guys next time here at Award Travel 101 Live.